the very first thing you'll see are the walls. This is the nuclear membrane, or sometimes it's called the nuclear envelope. Its job sounds simple, but it's absolutely crucial. It creates a physical barrier between these super sensitive operations happening inside the nucleus and the chaotic, busy world of the rest of the cell, the cytoplasm. And here's where the security gets really serious. You see, the entire cell has a membrane, but it's a single layer. The nucleus, it gets a double layer. I mean, think about that. It's like having an outer fortress wall and then an inner one. This isn't just general run-of-the-mill security. This is maximum protection for the most important information in the building. So, okay, if the nucleus is this impenetrable fortress, how does anything get in or out? Well, no fortress is complete without some very, very carefully guarded security gates. Let's head over to the border crossing. These gates are called nuclear pores. Now, these are not just simple holes in the wall. No way. They are unbelievably complex machines made of proteins, and they act like intelligent channels. They're the bouncers, the security guards, and the customs agents all rolled into one, deciding exactly who and what gets to pass. And this tight control is everything. It's what stops, say, a virus from just waltzing in and hijacking the command center to make more copies of itself. And the process is just so sophisticated. First, a molecule has to have the right paperwork, a special chemical tag that basically says, "I'm approved for entry." Then, the pore scans that tag. If it all checks out, the pore actually changes its shape to let the molecule through. And just as fast, it snaps shut again, making sure that barrier is secure. It's this incredible dance of molecular security, and it's happening millions of times a second. Okay, we've passed inspection, we are through the gates, and we are now inside the headquarters. Welcome to the command floor. This is where all the action happens. The first thing you notice is just the internal environment itself. This stuff is called the nucleoplasm. It's this rich, kind of jelly-like substance that fills the whole nucleus. You can think of it as the air, the floor, the whole infrastructure of the command center. It's definitely not empty space. It's this dynamic soup where all the vital work gets done. And this jelly is just packed with everything the HQ needs to function. It's a very carefully balanced mix of water, salts, essential enzymes, and this is key, the raw building blocks, the nucleotides that are needed to copy and read that genetic blueprint. But floating around within this busy command floor, you'd see a distinct, even denser area. It looks like a specialized workshop, one that's dedicated to building the tools that the rest of the cell needs to survive. This is the Nucleolus. Its one and only job is to be a factory that churns out ribosomes. And what are ribosomes? They're the little machines that actually build all the proteins. So get this, the headquarters doesn't just hold the blueprints, it actively builds the machinery that will then go out into the cell and use those blueprints to build everything else. Pretty cool, right? And that brings us to the heart of the headquarters, the final stop on our tour. We are now standing at the door to the vault, which holds the most important thing in this entire operation, life's master blueprint. Inside the vault, we find the genetic information, but it's not just a messy, tangled pile of DNA. Nope, it's stored as chromatin. This stuff is remarkable. It's a complex of DNA that's been tightly wound around proteins. This is the substance that contains every single instruction for building and operating the entire organism. So here's the crazy part. If you stretched out the DNA in just one of your cells, it would be about 2 meters long. 2 meters! How on earth do you fit 2 meters of information into a space that's just a few micrometers wide? Well, the answer is just brilliant, efficient packaging. And this is basically how it works. The DNA strand itself is like a super long piece of thread. It gets wrapped around these protein spools called histones. Then those spools are coiled up, and then those coils are coiled again, condensing this massive strand into a compact, manageable fiber. I mean, it is an incredible feat of data storage that honestly makes our best hard drives look totally primitive. So, let's just do a quick recap of our tour. We saw the double-layered fortress walls of the nuclear membrane. We passed through the high-tech security gates of the nuclear pores. We explored the ribosome workshop inside the nucleolus. And finally, we got to see the master blueprint stored safely in the chromatin vault. Each part has its own specific, vital role to play in the cell's headquarters. The nucleus really is this amazing structure, built for perfect protection and flawless organization.